intro music.
Hey,
It's there.
Oh,
It's
you just
there.
gotta put it in later.
Yeah, of course. How's it going, guys? This is episode 2 of the Trash Bash podcast.
Hey.
We have a couple people missing. We also have a couple guests. So, yeah, let's start off by introducing ourselves. I'm Selena, Sal for short, I guess. We have a special guest.
I'm Kelsey.
Like the restaurant.
Like the restaurant. Although I was not named after the restaurant.
Is that a copyright infringement?
We'll have to edit another
There goes the
one.
podcast.
And I am Logan's roommate.
That was, alright. Next up.
Anthony. Next. No,
I hate you.
Okay.
no,
Here
we're
from the
just
last pod.
here from the last pod, making another entrance.
Fuck.
What else to say? Just
Alright.
getting ready to talk about shit, I guess.
Perfect. And next we have,
Alright,
rolls his eyes as if he doesn't want to be here.
Already high as fuck.
yeah,
Let's see.
I'm high and I was in a bad mood earlier, but I'm Justin and I'm still here today to do the
Ooh.
podcast for you guys.
Wow, great.
So passing it on to Logan.
Hi, my name is Unimpressed. I'm Log. I'm here to deal with these bitches who are in my home. And yeah, excited to be here. Excited to be here.
Wonderful. And another special guest.
I'm Matt. I'm not sure what I should balance my being here as.
You're a homie.
Yep, I'm a homie.
He's a homie. We're just gonna say a homie.
Perfect.
Perfect. And next we have
There are more
Oh.
people in this room wearing glasses.
Yeah.
than not, and I just realized. Now we're even. Now we're even.
Wearing glasses.
Okay,
No,
back,
maybe you need glasses.
back to the introduction.
Let's not scratch
I'm
this.
Noel. Noel for short. And I'm still kicking from last year. I survived. Let's get on with it.
Hey.
We also have another special guest, my hookah. Say hello. Say hello, hookah.
She tried to bubble it and it failed.
I did a little bit. Happy New Year.
Happy
It
New
is
Year.
it is 2018, guys. We somehow made it through 2017
Yeah.
with all of our trash. So yeah, we.
What's our first topic?
Okay, well, let's talk about the break. We had a lot of fam events happen this break, which is pretty cool. We had our family Christmas dinner, which we called Let's Miss. And then the next night we had New Year's, so it was like a double whammy.
We were drunk for 2 days.
Yeah,
Yes.
basically
Good.
drunk for 2 days. It was a good time. So we can kind of start talking about that and like what that was all about.
Yeah.
Anthony, you want to kick us off?
Are we okay? So we're gonna start. We're gonna start with obviously the Friday when we got here. We all kind of just packed into Logan's room and decided to make it our home by making no room whatsoever inside of his room.
Yeah. We had 2 air mattresses and a full-size bed.
How?
We had, yes, we made it work. Another room also had another air mattress and a bed, and then we had air mattresses downstairs. There was a lot of people in this house
There
for a couple
was,
days.
It was
Yeah.
a full house.
Yeah, so we had dinner here, a little potluck,
Yeah.
and we were all drunk by 6 p.m.
Logan actually made a turkey 3 times in less than a week. 3
full-size turkeys within 4 days.
I know people who have almost shot people by making 1 turkey and how difficult that is.
So
And
3 is pretty impressive.
Logan
And no one
did
died.
it.
No one died.
No.
Yeah.
No one
fires.
died. We were close, but
Close.
No fires. No fires.
can we
Don't
just?
burn any water, God bless.
Yeah.
The only reason the turkey was good was because I have an instant read thermometer.
The shade.
Taking credit.
Just kidding.
I literally,
Logan cooked the turkey who's like most of the way, and then I came in at the end and checked their temperatures.
I literally did. I was just so mad. I was like, watch, Justin's gonna mention his Instagram.
I got it for Christmas, and I'm really proud of it.
Wow.
You know that those kids that carry around their blanket? It's
Yeah.
Justin and his meat thermometer.
Justin just walks around with his thermometer all day
You
long.
both got
All
kitchen
day.
stuff. You got a thermometer. I got a spork.
I got a,
You
I
got a
got a,
spork?
I got a spork. Matt got a deep
Incredible.
fryer.
I got a saute pan that can go in the oven too.
You
Wow.
also got the popcorn
I got a
maker.
popcorn
popcorn
maker, so I can
maker.
make industrial sized
came
popcorn.
Man, y'all
Justin
got
came
some
through.
good KitchenAid stuff.
Yeah.
Justin came through with his kitchen appliance Christmas.
Honestly,
appliance.
wow.
Yeah, no, having everyone over was like really good. It was just it was a lot.
Yeah.
There was
It
quite
was-
a bit.
And see, I feel like Litzmas was not a lot more fun, but I just felt a lot more comfortable that
Yeah.
night because it was just like the fam, like the
Yeah.
squad. So like we just had people that we really, really knew, but like New Year's there was like
A lot
Oh,
more.
random
stupid.
fucking people that were here, and I was like, hello, like who are you?
What'd you
Yeah.
get for Christmas, Kelsey?
Oh yeah, Kelsey was not here.
I was not
She
here.
at home.
I went home to my parents' house because they live about 4 hours away from here, so I had to go spend some time with them, which was fun.
Of course.
I had a good Christmas. I got like a new luggage set, which is
Bitch,
pretty fucking
Same.
cool.
What the fuck?
Literally everyone in our house got luggage this year.
Is that a
I
sign?
want to point out that I just reached in to the box of Timbits, and there's only 2 left. And I pull out a plane
It's okay.
with nothing on it
So did I.
today.
So did I.
And I'm so
Cheers,
mad.
cheers to our bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's just, sorry to interrupt, but let's
Sorry
just
about
set the scene for everyone, okay? We got
Let's
all
talk
of us
about
sitting
this.
around in Logan's room, which is
Normal.
normal, but
normal.
yeah, you know, we all kind of fit in here right now. There's a Timbit box, a very tiny Timbit box next to the mic. If you can hear the fucking, yeah, that's it right there.
That was very loud. I'm looking at the feed and it's loud. We're
And
good. They get
Kelsey
it.
is sitting in front of a turkey baster inside of a cup, and I have no idea why.
I'm watering my plants.
The turkey baster.
Let me live. It's succulents. I don't need that much water.
The explanation now makes it so much more comfortable because now I see she's sitting next to 3 different cacti.
They're succulents.
So
They're non-cacti. This is a generalization.
okay, so
God damn it.
what are they?
They're succulents.
Oh my goodness.
Cacti and succulent lives matter too.
Oh my god, I thought
Succulent lives matter.
I thght you were literally describing.
SLM. My goodness.
I thought you were describing the plant as they're succulent. I'm like, what a way to describe a plant.
You're like, wow, Noelle, like, use your vocab.
These plants look very succulent.
Honestly.
Goddamn.
Yeah,
Succulent with 2 C's.
back to Christmas. I thought Litzmas was fun. I had I had part of an edible, and it was like the first time I had an edible, and I was really drunk. So there was a period of time where everyone was looking at me like, Noelle. I guess I was like limp in a chair, and I actually went upstairs and I took a good like
Yeah,
45
No, my
minute
favorite
snooze.
Noel moment
She
of
disappeared
like
in
weekend was that like at one point Noelle like had disappeared for a little while, and then she came downstairs. And I knew something was up because she put her hair up in the middle of the night, and then she went to my kitchen and started pacing around. And I was like, Noelle, are you okay? And she was like, I'm just getting through it right now.
Just getting through it. I was so allegedly intoxicated
You were.
through food, I guess you could say.
You were
I just
drunk
beating
on
around I was beating around the bush to say that I did to take part of that edible, and I had my head scratched by one of our friends, Erica, for
Oh.
like 2 hours.
You
Yeah,
guys,
so
you guys
content.
literally sat there for a good,
She's good at
at least a good 45
She's
minutes.
good
at
She
that.
was she was just let's just set the scene. Everyone else is literally partying. There is music. People are doing shots left
People are
and right.
sleeping.
Literally everybody's hanging out, laughing, having a good time. We look over onto the couch. Erica is sitting on her phone, sitting on the arm of the chair. Anthony is resting his head onto her lap, and she is just massaging his head. Just sitting there. And that happened for a good 45
I was
minutes.
entranced. I had like an avatar like connection with like an animal thing, like
With Erica's hand.
the hand and the hair like met, and we just like connected on a on a different
Spiritual
level.
I should probably preface this. So the reason why we had so many edibles around.
You know, it's a good story when that's the preface. to
We
it.
don't usually have that many edibles around.
So what had happened was our friend Jay, we do Secret Santa for each other every year. So our friend Jay is like a known pothead, and a purveyor of the edible arrangements.
Amazing.
Why on the podcast does it sound like you guys went to like
What the fuck
grammar
are
and
you
literature
doing?
school, and now you know all these fancy words?
Oh my god.
Arrangements? Is that a word?
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
That's
So,
really bright,
So,
by the way.
Anthony's recording us with his phone right now, and the flashes in our
Coons.
eyes. So.
not irritating at all. Not at all.
No.
So our friend Jay got this giant bag of edibles, is basically what happened, and then started selling them in my home.
So there was a drug deal happening
drug deals
within
happening.
a drug house. So
Yes.
it was
lovely.
amazing. Yeah, it was
The
great.
trap house was fully lit.
The trap house.
Kelsey, how does it feel to be a good Christian girl living in a trap house?
with your good Christian roommate.
Yeah. Chelsea, how's your prayer life?
Oh my
You're on my
goodness.
knees quite often. All the
Ooh,
time.
ooh.
The
I'm
word
never
of the
really on
nug
my
according
knees,
to
so
logs.
it's okay.
The word of the nug.
So, I guess overall, Litmus was really good.
Why are we
Litmus
ruining
was
our
good.
lives?
Everyone had a good time. And then we come to the next. Actually, no, that night was
Oh, that was
funny
good.
as shit.
Oh, it was fucking-
Erica trampled me. My entire side was bruised for a good 3 days because she literally squished my. She is a very bony person.
Yeah.
And
She's
she
a bony
fell onto my body full speed.
Not like
Roll
not
up sack
fell.
full
She
of chicken
she
bones.
full off.
She
She
jumped.
off like dead ass
belly
like football
flopped.
top.
She
Like,
collapsed onto me.
Now, mind you, this is on a bed. This wasn't like Cell was not standing, and she just tackled her.
This was on an air mattress.
This
but
was on an
Erica
air
was feeling her
mattress.
quarterback fantasy.
There are times
Threw
where
herself at Selena's body.
We ended up
Yes.
watching porn together.
We did.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
we
I was not here
were
for
all no.
it,
We were
but-
showing Erica
And then
which kind of porn that we watched
Yeah.
because she was like,
In
I
my
don't
good-
watch porn. It's boring. And we're like, honey,
Am I good?
you don't know good porn then.
Yeah, you guys
Hold
handed
on.
the phone to me and I found some for you.
Parental guidance is advised in this podcast.
Oh yeah, we need to put like a.
And
I
that's
thought
like
you
a
I literally
weird
thought you were saying
description.
parental guidance is required during porn. Like that's, and I was like, whoa, Anthony, what are you doing?
Okay, let's take a
Ooh.
sec.
Incest
we
fun
just-
for the whole family.
Can we just imagine the whole fam wholesomely watching a nice porn video?
Eating
A
popcorn,
nice wholesome porn
eating
video.
popcorn, you know.
Yeah, it's just like, oh
We're
my
not
gosh,
there.
like.
You know,
Wow.
there are days where I'm like, man, I wish I could have come for like the Litmus and the New Year's thing, and then I'm listening to all these stories. I'm like, I'm glad I fucking wasn't
Well, are we
here.
discussing years yet, or just litmus as of
This
now?
is just lit.
Because litmus.
Litmus shit.
This is litness.
I couldn't too easy on litmus, and I really went ham on New Year's, so I
This
know
is
some stories
legit
about that
news.
night, but-
We both did. We both
You
were.
guys-
Anthony awakened from the dead on New Year's Eve. We'll get there.
So we end up, a bunch of us end up sleeping here, obviously. New Year's
Obviously.
Eve, the 31st. A lot of people left during the day. There was only a few of us left here just to kind of help Logan get the house back in order for party round 2. And then we went out. We actually went out for a fancy dinner. A
We
few of
did.
us.
Couple of us.
Cute, yeah, a
I
couple
went
of
out
us
with
who
my
went.
family to Chuck's Roadhouse.
Oh,
Without them.
Roadhouse.
we got to meet Charlotte, and we got to meet our lovely Amanda's boyfriend, who was actually a
Ooh,
pretty
Christian.
Alright.
solid dude.
Yeah,
Pretty
very
solid.
solid.
Very
dude.
Christian.
We have more characters in this podcast than Game of Thrones.
Characters.
We're gonna need to make
Who dies off? Honestly,
Kill
sign
me.
me up.
Honestly, kill me.
Literally, I volunteer to die. Like,
Honestly, kill me.
let's go.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da,
The
2018.
next episode, they're beheading me alive.
Alive, beheaded.
Logs has the same fate as Ned Stark.
Spoiler alert.
Oh my
Do you
God,
guys
no.
watch Game of Thrones yet?
Yeah,
sorry.
fucking
It's-
7 year later, spoiler alert.
Yeah, still
Oh,
wrong.
If you
let's
haven't
talk
seen
about
it now,
how 2018
fuck
is gonna be the year of no Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Don't trigger me like that.
Oh.
Game of Thrones released their year that they're putting the show back out,
It's not
which
this
is
one.
2019.
Same with
Not a
Rick and
happy
Morty.
camper.
Nope.
Same with
I don't know what I'm gonna do Sunday nights.
Rick
Like,
and Morty.
Yeah.
I'm triggered.
It's disappointing.
I still haven't seen the newest season.
You need to watch it. It's
Okay.
fucking
Yeah,
good.
you're gonna
Please
come.
watch
Oh.
it. You're gonna come.
Are you
Get
sure about that?
ready.
Let's not fall into a hole here.
So then after our dinner, everybody met back here again at around, I believe it was around 9.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of started showing up. There was a lot of jam sessions that happened,
And
lots
then
of music, lots of
everything
singing.
went wrong.
I remember
It was
saying,
fine.
we were all just hanging out. This was just when there was like maybe 10 of us. We're all just sitting in the living room, and I literally commented and said, "This is the calm before the storm."
Yeah.
Within 45 minutes, the storm fucking hit, bitch.
Half of
Like,
Windsor was
literally,
here.
it was a
First
it
of
was a
all,
banger.
Elon Musk himself showed up. I am alluding to someone else. And-
Is that what we're calling him today?
That's what we're gonna call him.
Elon
Okay, so
So Elon Musk himself appeared.
one of a mutual friend showed up. Or was that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so a mutual friend showed up, and honestly, they're a fucking party, dude. Like, we were jamming the fuck out the whole night. We were dancing together. He's lit, like lit as shit.
The only issue is that Leo does not like him.
Oh,
So him and
okay.
Jody held up in my room.
Oh, we're talking about somebody else. Never mind.
No.
I thought we were
We
talking
knew.
about another
You
person.
said
I know. who-
jam. Like, who else could we be talking
A
about?
jam?
Like,
He's-
honestly.
I was
Didn't
talking
it?
about.
Yes, we knew.
Somebody else.
Oh no,
The
no, we're
person
gonna
that got sick.
we're gonna get to
Yeah,
that.
we'll
Okay,
get there.
We're gonna
that's
get
who I
there.
was. Okay,
You
I
mean
know who you're
Cropsy.
referring to.
So,
We have to try aliases.
So, but that was fun though. It was.
It was good.
It was fine.
It was chill. It was
Yeah.
fine.
He was just.
Yeah.
He's always just so he's always so extra. There's always there's never a time where he can come to a party and just exist. Like it's always he has to be like an event. Like it's just I don't know.
If
He
you
is
ever
the main
listen to this,
event.
we love you, by the way. Don't take anything to offense.
No, there's
Oh
no shade.
love,
no shade.
no, much love, much love, much love.
Literally,
much love.
no shade whatsoever. It
I
was
just-
it's always an event, and it's a good time. Honestly, I had a great fucking time. There was just a lot of people here, and a lot of
Yeah.
people I personally didn't know very well, so I was just like, oh my gosh, we almost forgot the wedding happened that night.
I have it on video.
Okay,
I can play some
so
audio clips
preface
from it.
back to last episode where we also had one of our other friends, Kyla, here.
She's currently dead, but you know.
She is currently not actually.
Not really, but-
she's sick as a dog. Me and her got married on New Year's Eve, and let's just say our Bible was the Mario Kart, Mario Kart.
8, yeah, it was Mario Kart 8.
So that's how that went.
Yeah,
I was the flower girl, and I didn't have flowers, so I just threw a stick.
Multiple times.
Yeah, just left and right. Like I threw it, picked it back up,
No, the
threw it to the other side.
The officiation was beautiful. We did well. Everything was
Yeah, it was a very nice wedding.
From someone who is
For all of us being completely smashed, it was honestly really well. And then New Year's rolled around. Don't know when that happened.
I think it happened twice.
Yeah,
Twice.
we counted down twice because our phones were the right time, but the New Year's Rockin' Eve was wrong.
We
the
were
ball
watching-
dropped 45 seconds too late.
It's because we were watching a live stream, and I think the live stream was behind.
Oh, okay. that
Typically
makes
with
sense.
live
Never
streams,
mind.
that usually
I
happens.
thought we were
Yeah.
watching it live on television.
So we were all standing there, and it's
Too poor for
11. It said 11:59 on our phones, but it was only 11:58 on the TV, and we're all just standing there wait, which? And then all of a sudden it turns to midnight on our phones, and we're all like, wait, happy.
That was
New
the
Year?
fake New Year's, and we counted down the real New Year's
Yeah.
with the live stream.
Yeah, we
So
had
it
half
was-
people screaming. Yeah, the other half were still waiting, and then
It was.
I
It was a
have
mess.
the countdown on my phone
Yeah,
too.
same. I have
I
a video
literally
as
have
well.
the
It
video.
was something.
it was a
interesting.
mess. It was
And
it was
then
a mess.
after that, I think everybody just started getting blackout.
Yeah, I made pizza.
I think that's what
I
was
made
happening.
pizza.
I think everything went to shit after the marriage. After the wedding,
Yeah,
the
after
music
the
started.
wedding.
The
it just-
reception was
yeah.
insane.
Selena put I have this cubic Bluetooth speaker. It's a giant rectangular prism. She put it on her head like a
Prism.
hat and started dancing around with it the whole entire night.
you
That was
did.
that was my drunk dance for the night. Usually I have a drunk dance. I don't know what it, but I'll do something. It's always just I'll end up doing that specific move the rest of the night. I don't know why. It happens every time. But that night, and that was the first time I ever done that. I literally just grabbed it, the fucking scene from what's it called? What's that movie where
Footloose.
the guy shows up to her house playing the song. He has the big boom box on his
oh,
shoulder.
yeah,
Breakfast
yeah.
Club?
No,
Is
that's
that-
how Breakfast Club.
Oh, 16 Candles.
I'm
No.
triggered. I can't remember.
Breakfast at Tiffany. I don't know, guys.
Breakfast at Tiffany.
No!
Is it say anything?
I don't know. Anyway,
I think so.
y'all probably
Okay.
Anywho, but then
Post in the
Anyways.
comments
Oh
what
my
you
God.
think the answer is.
This is not fucking Family
So
Feud.
I ended up that was just my thing. Every time a good song came on, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna run around with the speaker on my head. So I just ran around holding the speaker on my head, dancing to whatever was on.
And then my coworkers arrived.
Oh wow,
Oh.
that was. Oh, it's snowing, guys. Pretty.
It's a Christmas miracle.
It's not even fucking Christmas.
Yeah, I know.
It's a 2018 miracle.
I'm over this Christmas shit. So yeah, so then my coworkers arrived and
They
That was a
were
mess.
they were fun as fuck.
they were a
Yeah.
fucking event. They
There
were
was
fun.
4 of them, and
No,
they were honest.
5.
There's 4 of them. Oh, there's
There
5?
for sure was 4.
There was the skinny, the tall skinny
Yusuf,
one.
Andrew,
Yep.
Mike, Kenny, and
Just-
Navita.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway,
There was a lot of people there.
yeah, it was a good time though. They were a fucking
They were
riot.
good, yeah.
Like honestly, holler at them because they were fucking dope.
We had given Anthony the aux for a while, and it was going good. Like it was.
Honestly, that
and
was
then
fucking boss.
Logan's coworkers started coming up to me, and they were like, "Yo, who's got the aux? Like, we need to like switch this
And then
up."
they would like
Yeah.
change it to like this like random like I don't know what the fuck.
They
was
told
up
me they wanted
was
me to
on.
put on death grips, and I don't know what that is. And I did it. I did it for
Yeah,
them.
it was pretty intense. I mean, the song Rockstar played about 5 times.
I like that song.
The
And
fucking
in less than like in an hour, and I did want to blow my brains out a few
It's
times,
a good song, shut up.
but I
You held it together.
held it together. I did.
Yeah, you did
I
well.
Anthony had to
actually
get away from metal for 4 seconds.
I had to.
No, you.
No,
like,
you did
we
really well.
we jammed out to your music for a while. Before
We did,
that.
yeah.
You
We
had
did,
to watch
because
for a good 45 minutes. It
I
was
d-
good.
I did have a chance to actually express the music I listened to. Luckily, because I had Jay and the other guy there with me,
Yeah.
and they like metal. And if usually I'm outnumbered, and everyone else hates me, so
We were bopping. I was bopping. It was a good time.
it was good.
Bop, yeah.
It was good.
But yeah, that was, and then there was pizza at one point.
I made pizza.
I was also eating leftover pasta from dinner at one point, which the next day I was mad at myself because then I didn't have pasta to eat in the morning. So
I had steak for breakfast. Bitch.
great.
You guys brought me some really good chocolate cake.
Oh yeah,
That was fucking
We
delicious.
did.
Chocolate cake.
Yeah, there was.
Didn't Joel and
We gave our
Christmas?
scraps to the rest of our peasants.
Yup.
And then I came home 3 days later,
Yes.
and me and my dad walked up to the front step because he had driven me home. And
Okay, so preface to this story, one we're not gonna mention names.
His
One
name is
of
Cropsy.
Cropsy,
Cropsy.
yeah, sure. One of the people that showed up ended
Logan's
up
girlfriend.
getting very drunk, very fucking drunk, and
Still
ended
went to
up
the bathroom.
ended up having to go to the bathroom to throw up. Which fine, we all have those nights. It's cool.
But here's the tea, sweetheart.
On the way out.
No, but like here's my thing: is that like first of all, me and Erica had to take care of him because his friends were just kind of standing around like, oh, that's so bad.
Logan's
I'm like,
wig is flying around.
I'm
right
like,
now.
dude, like what the fuck? Like take care of your friend. Like this is not.
Not our job.
And then on his way out, literally throws up outside
On the stoop.
on the stoop outside my door.
yeah, so me and my dad walk up to the front door and we look down. It's like, my dad's like, huh? So someone threw up.
Which, by the way, I didn't know happened.
None of us knew about
This was
it.
Yeah.
3 days later, and no one knew.
Also, it was really cold. It's been really cold here, and it had actually frozen. So I think just none of us really noticed.
yeah. So Logan had to
Selena.
like.
I'm not adding
Go ahead.
another one.
So Logan had to like boil some water, and like pour it on the water, or pour it on the vomit. Sorry. And then like all froze.
Ugh,
So
gross.
we had like ice on our front porch for a while, but you know it's fine.
Throw up
It
ice,
worked
not
out.
just regular ice.
Yeah, exactly.
Throw up ice.
Disgusting. throw up
But it
ice.
worked out.
Yeah.
It worked
Yeah,
out.
it got cleaned, so it was fine.
Yeah, I had a much calmer New Year's than you guys did.
Overall,
I
successful
watched-
weekend.
Yeah. Anthony originally wasn't gonna drink or like get drunk or whatever, and then he
What?
awakened from the dead at one point.
Really?
And, yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
He
really didn't
decided
feel
to
it.
show up with. First of all, he said, "I'm just gonna bring one bottle of wine." So he brings a bottle of wine, loses it in his trunk. So now he's
You
here with.
brought wine?
Now he's here with not even a single drop of alcohol. So we're just like.
Which I was fine with because I could have a good time without alcohol. But I did find my
But-
wine a couple days later. It was underneath the passenger seat, and
How
yeah,
did it get there?
no idea.
It was in his. It was.
It's my favorite episode.
Premiere season 5 premiere. The
It's
missing
like-
wine.
Where's
Literally,
wine?
the wine goes from the trunk to under the passenger seat. That's fine. Oh, and we didn't even talk about. Okay, so Anthony comes to pick me up, and I have
Oh my!
for the
fucking
weekend because
God.
me and Anthony were spending the entire weekend here. So this is like 48 hours of us being at Logan's house. So he comes to
48
pick
hours
me
is
up,
too long, actually.
and I have a suitcase.
Shade.
I know. I have a suitcase, a giant box full of food and alcohol. I have my hookah box, which is pretty decent size, and I have my blow-up air mattress and blankets and pillows. So Anthony rolls up, and I bring
Plus
him
all
into
my shit too.
I know, that's what I was gonna say. So I bring him into my home, and I'm like, you need to help me. He looks at the pile of stuff, and he's like, this is not gonna fit. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, my stuff is taking up the entire trunk, and we still have another passenger. He has a smaller car. Like, it's a small car. It's a 5-person car. Like, it's not a van or anything
It's a
crazy.
van.
So, like, this thing, it was packed. So, as we're packing this stuff, I was like, listen, worst comes to worst, I'll just have to leave the hookah here. Anthony looks me dead in the face and says, we're making it fit. So we made it fit. So me and Anthony were expecting Justin. We had to pick him up as well. We were expecting Justin to walk out with a bunch of stuff as well, because again, we're all staying for most of the weekend. He walks out with a single duffel bag. One duffel bag. And that was it.
First of all,
First of all, you probably
First
think y'all
of all-
were bringing everything except the kitchen sink.
all I literally brought was pajamas and my phone charger and my speaker. That's it. All of my shit to prepare the food was in a separate Zayre's bag, so I did have 2 bags actually.
Yeah, but the first thing you just mentioned could have fit in a fucking paper bag, like a lunch bag.
Well, I don't know. What do you guys want me to bring my entire house?
No,
No, it was
just
just-
maybe
it was
something to
funny.
sleep with, so we don't have to hear you go, I have no blankets, no pillows.
I know that my
Wait,
friends are going to
wait.
provide for me on these nights, so I don't worry.
I love you. I did actually bring extra stuff for Justin.
And
So
I need to give a little sidebar. Anthony, you never bring shit anywhere.
that's because I'm always invited to sleep over the very last minute when I'm already out, so I'm
do,
like,
do
okay.
not.
Usually I have things.
Do not even
usually
say that.
I
I'm
have
literally going to tell you all every
And I'd
single
also
time
like
that
to
you
point
come
out
over here.
that I often bring a shit ton of blankets that I can make into a soft bed, and I've done that so many times.
That is false.
Oh, excuse me, no, it's
How
not.
many times have we shared my one blanket?
Well,
Exactly.
Only
Get the
because you
fucking
have an
right.
air mattress now, and I take that over anything else.
Okay, so now you're never sleeping with it.
Yeah, shut your mouth. You know
We're
what I'm talking about.
turning from no shade to partly cloudy.
Oh no.
Okay, let's move forward.
Yes.
Yeah,
next
so my
topic.
New Year's, because I never
Yes.
finished that
Oh,
story.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, okay, continuing.
So I didn't do anything for New Year's because I was gonna go to Waterloo to visit some friends, but my brother crashed the car,
Oh fuck.
so I didn't have a car to take to Waterloo. And so me
Thanks,
and my
Kelsey's
parents.
brother.
Triggered.
It's fine, whatever. But so I stayed in with my parents and we watched Lord of the Rings and 10
Which-
Things I Hate.
Which one?
The first 2. We didn't get through all 3.
Fellowship and
It's okay.
Two Towers, yeah,
It's a long process.
I have them all.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
Kelsey, oh god, that's it.
And then we watched 10 Things I Hate About You, played some more Skip-Bo, rang in the new year, and then went to bed.
Nice. Relatively calm.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot more calm
Yeah.
than whatever the fuck we did.
So next year I'm gonna spend it with Kelsey.
Honestly. Oh yeah, guys. So Christmas is coming up soon.
Fuck off!
Guys.
12, thank you very much.
Honestly,
I don't count this month.
I'm very excited for next Christmas because this Christmas I happen to be a little bit broke. So
Oh my God.
when I actually wanted to spend $500 on everybody, I was able to spend $5. So you know what? Next Christmas I have high hopes.
I don't.
Counter to this, I actually got to spend money on you guys for this Christmas, which I never get to do. God fucking bless. I hope y'all enjoyed your shit.
Yeah.
Of course.
But yeah, no, it'll be good. Either way, and I think we're gonna nix Secret Santa for next year. I think we're gonna do something a little different.
Yeah.
I agree.
Let's do a Drake and
We're
Josh
gonna
style
do-
chili cook-off.
We're gonna do a Yankee swap.
the Peruvian puff
Perfect.
pepper.
You mean a trash swap?
Oh God, why does it always be garbage?
Amazing. Okay, so we're gonna kind of bring it on to like some random fucking topic that was brought up earlier. Weird food combinations, because apparently that's a thing.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know what you guys are fucking talking about. I'm not a weirdo. Like, I eat normal food.
Well,
like,
obviously Anthony has something because he's the one who wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, I kind of bring it up
would
because,
you
like,
eat bruschetta and espresso? Like,
no. Attack to my Italian heritage. No, I wanted to bring this up because I have a brother who has a girlfriend. They try different foods all the time, and I swear they don't get high, but this was an actual food combination that they tried. And I just wanted to bring it up to see if anyone else here had any weird food combinations that they've tried. So one day, my brother and his girlfriend went to Bulk Barn. They had purchased some of those sour watermelons
Okay.
that you
Of
get,
course.
a couple of other shit or whatever. So they bring it home, and they're like, nah, this is not working out. We need something more powerful.
Okay.
So they
Okay.
took some lunch meat,
What?
like
What kind of lunch meat?
turkey,
No.
like processed like turkey lunch
The
meat.
worst.
Like
Oh,
shaved turkey, like the circle.
Yeah,
Was it
yeah.
blue menu?
I don't know what it was, but the point was, it was turkey, and
Was it roasted?
yeah, black forest. Or, no, that's ham.
That's ham.
Black Forest turkey.
White ocean turkey.
Anyway, so they took the turkey, took a slice of cheese.
Yes.
What kind of cheese?
Does it matter?
Yes, it actually
It does.
Marble.
started.
Marble.
Marble.
Okay, none of
That's
that.
not even a good cheese.
Cracker Barrel,
But it's Cracker Barrel cheese, so that's
Cracker
okay.
Barrel marble cheese
Okay.
that they had put the sour watermelon in the turkey, rolled it up like a tiny taquito, grabbed a piece of cheese, laid it on top like it belonged, and ate it. And I convulsed.
Okay.
Okay, wait.
Hold on, hold on.
I need a sidebar for a second. Here's the thing. We're doing a podcast. We're just gonna get a little meta for a second. We want to choose topics that like people understand.
No, this is a good
Putting
topic.
watermelon in turkey is not like it's not like.
What is the topic name though? Weird food combinations.
Yes.
I've got one too. I've got
Okay,
another one.
There you
I
go.
have one too.
Can we pause for a sec? What was the outcome? What
Was it good?
They loved it, and they actually still do it to this day sometimes.
Fuck, man, I'm sorry.
When did this occur?
Okay, I have a story.
I'm not
3
friends
years
with
ago.
Larry.
3 years. They've been doing this for 3 years.
Not consecutively, but 3 years ago it happened, and they might have tried it once or twice.
Oh wow.
I have a story. So when I was younger, I put ketchup literally on everything. I was one of those fuckers.
Oh yeah.
So I think I've tried like ketchup and cucumber,
Oh.
Okay, that's
I did
awful.
ketchup and carrots for a while.
Scone up the beef, am I right?
I did ketchup and broccoli probably till I was 13.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. I'm triggered a little bit.
I think I did ketchup on a sandwich once.
Only once.
What kind of sandwich?
I think
Like,
it was
was
like
it just dead ass bread and ketchup?
no, I think it was like ham and cheese or something.
That's not. It's not.
But it wasn't like a
awful.
grilled cheese.
Oh my goodness.
Ketchup and grilled cheese is alright though.
I've done like
That's triggering.
You know what I find
no
fucking-
ketchup and
you know
grilled
what?
cheese is the best.
People
It's
talk
good.
about, you know what people talk about that really fucking grinds my gears. Fucking ketchup on pizza. That
What?
shit makes-
Oh, that's not true. That doesn't exist.
Yeah, it does. Dude, get-
I reject your reality.
What
and
is everyone's
substitute
thoughts
my
on-
own.
Okay, slow
What is
down.
everyone's thoughts
I didn't know I was
on
little.
pineapple and ham on pizza?
Oh, shut your
No,
fucking mouth.
no, we're not starting this
Delicious.
conversation.
Fine,
Delicious.
fine.
Fuck ham,
Eat it
but
every
pineapple,
fuck-
yeah.
I'll eat it
Yes,
every
If
fucking
any
day of the
bitch,
week.
listen, final thought on this, if any bitch, if I see a single piece of pineapple on the pizza I'm about to eat, I'm gonna throw up on it and say it's so good.
Have you ever
Don't
had
you-
pineapple on pizza? Have you
Yes,
eaten it?
and it's awful.
So-
It is
Does
the
not
worst-
go with cheese.
Listen, it is
Sweet
the
and salty.
single worst thing I have ever tried in my whole life. So if you like that, sorry, but imagine my
Sel has a pineapple tattooed behind her ear and a piece of pizza tattooed behind her other ear.
Now I
She's
have
wearing pizza sauce.
I'm joking.
Actually, am.
Just
I have-
the pineapple.
I
strip.
have a weird one too. Then I don't know. Selena might actually like this.
Ooh.
When I was really young, my mom used to make me these sandwiches that were literally
Oh, God.
Wonder Bread, like the shitty Wonder Bread. That's like, it's you touch it and it indents, and then if you let it go over time, it'll expunge back to normal. Like it's that
I'm
bad.
triggered
Okay.
because I know what this is gonna trigger.
Wonder Bread, okay? You put down one slice of processed Kraft single cheese.
Oh.
On the other side, you spread so much Miracle Whip, and that's
Ooh.
it. That's the
Oh, yeah.
sandwich.
Oh, Wow.
Isn't it? And I don't know why I ate it, but I loved it. I couldn't say mayonnaise when I was younger, so I literally called it cheese and mayonnaise sandwiches. So I would always have these cheese and mayonnaise sandwiches.
Nay TM.
It was, oh guys, just the thought of it now makes my
blood boil.
stomach curdle.
Yeah.
It's bad.
These next two things that I'm gonna mention, I have never tried. These are things that I've heard that people have tried. One, pickles and peanut butter.
Oh.
Fuck you. Literally disintegrate.
It's disgusting.
No, actually, that's weird. That's what I hear quite often, and I never.
Pregnant women do that all the
Yeah.
time. I've heard that from so many
They
fucking
do.
women.
Naval Burger has
Actually, wait. I have tried the burger there. There's a burger.
I'm throwing so much shade at you. I hate this.
peanut
Okay.
butter jam
Wait,
with
listen.
pickles on it.
Yeah, peanut butter jam and pickles. And you know what?
It's fucking good.
Bye.
It's actually fucking.
Has anyone
Bye.
tried,
Bitch, disgusting.
I did a peanut butter, banana, and bacon burger.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that does
So
sound good.
fucking
I'm here
good.
for it.
As a vegetarian, I'm triggered.
As a burger connoisseur.
As an ex-vegan vegetarian, I'm feeling
Okay,
pretty triggered.
I think-
So that was the first one, and then the second one, I have witnessed somebody eat this in front of my own two eyes,
I'm scared.
and I have never been the same since then. So Miracle Whip, literally the worst impersonation of mayo I've ever had in
True.
my life.
True.
Goodbye. I'm a mayo lover. I am a mayo version of Kelsey with her ketchup. I will put mayo on anything, bitch. So
Very passionate.
yes, I am. So Miracle Whip with peanut butter.
Oh
No!
I witnessed with my own two eyes somebody eat it, and I'm
For
triggered.
what reason?
What
Like I don't
happened
understand.
here?
Those are two things of completely opposite tastes with the
Yeah.
same.
Literally
That's
making me
so
sick.
bad.
That is so gross.
The
like
only
eating two
weird
things.
combinations I've ever eaten, and one of them, honestly, I don't even think it's that weird because I've heard of other people doing it, and that's why I tried it, and most of us think it's weird. And I, like Selena, adore mayo. It's quite delicious to me. Especially when I
It
was...
was so gross.
Okay, but when I was a teenager, I craved salt all the fucking time.
Okay.
So give me the saltiest fucking chips you got. I used to take Miss Vicky's sea salt and malt vinegar and dip them in mayo.
Oh.
Okay,
And
that's
The
actually,
saltiness,
it
though.
tasted,
That's
it literally just tasted like, almost like sour cream and onion chips at that point to me.
Okay.
I don't know if that was true, but my taste was ruined. The other one was when I was in 4th grade, we used to have Lunchables, right? And I had a nacho
My-
Lunchable
my
with that
crack.
crappy, like, cheese.
yeah.
And I never ate this fucking cheese. To me, it was the grossest thing in the world. And I remember one day, I just had it out, and people were just putting shit in it. And someone, like, just threw in, like, a piece of bread from their sandwich, and people were just throwing, like, at one point, salsa went in it,
Yeah.
which wasn't bad. Like, juice went in it, and
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
I watched, well, like, I didn't try it, but I watched this kid take one of those, like, cheese nibs, dip it in, and eat it.
Goodbye.
And honestly, not an emotion passed on his face. It was, and at that point, I
He
knew.
was emotional.
At that point,
He
I
was
knew.
stoic.
I knew he was an android.
Yeah.
And right after that, there was a mass shooting.
And then the last one, and I didn't try this particular combination, but I was in a lab, and we were studying squid, and my prof brought in these little fried squids, and he said, you know,
So good.
whoever, and like the eyes were on this, like it was,
Oh.
and
It's
he
the
said,
best part.
whoever eats one of these with a cracker, you know, you get a bonus point. So I ate one, and it wasn't bad, but I watched this one guy, he goes, I'm gonna, like, you know, raise the notch. And this guy had condiments on him for some reason. I thought he would pull out, like, hot sauce, or like, you know, like hot sauce.
Can't go to lab without my condiments.
Basically, he knew there'd be food. He pulls out a package of one of those packages of jam you get at like breakfast restaurants.
similar to the ones that Anthony eats, except
Yes.
it's peanut butter.
Yeah.
He
my
pulls
goodness.
out like strawberry fucking jam, slathers on the cracker, smacks the squid on, and just pops it in.
That's
And at that point, I had to turn away because I was ready to.
That's
hurl.
bad.
There was a couple of things that made me want to bring up this topic, and one of those obviously was my story. Another two things where I had witnessed a video on Facebook of somebody. The title of this was just "Watch this to disturb yourself," and so that intrigued me right away because I saw there was food. and somebody had poured a bowl of Cheetos and poured milk inside those Cheetos and ate them.
Oh my god.
Then proceeded to put cornflakes on a grilled cheese, cut it up and eat it. Then
That wouldn't be bad. Cornflakes are.
There's more?
oh yeah.
Breading.
Cornflakes without a crunchiness.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
Two
That's like a breading.
fucking grilled cheese.
Yeah,
though?
if they're not
Yeah.
sweetened, like if they're not fried,
I-
it's like
No.
get behind it.
Oh yes, I'm sorry, Frosted Flakes, not
Dude,
cornflakes.
then-
That's
dude,
what.
Okay.
don't do that.
Well, I
Hey,
made
yeah,
a
Frosted Flakes and
mistake.
It's a lot
cornflakes
different
are two
story.
different.
I made
Hey.
a mistake. Anyway, the last thing that they did was pour soy sauce on ice cream,
Oh.
and I wanted to die. But
Heartburn.
I also. Okay, a lot of weird stories happened with my brother and his girlfriend, and they were on their way to London, and they had taken a picture of a clashed store, like the stores that have two different things in there but don't like basically belong. Like here on Wyandotte, we have an ink printer and ice cream.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking.
Print shop.
So they had passed by taxidermy and cheese.
Oh, whoa.
And for those
That sounds like a shop that would be in Bob's Burgers.
Honestly, like, and for those of you who don't know what taxidermy is, it's when animals die and they stuff them.
Okay, sidebar. Did you know U Windsor has a freaking taxidermy
I
club?
went to high school. I went to high school with one of the girls who founded it. She used to hang out with us. She was friends with
Well,
Grant.
wait. Time out. Time. Pause.
Bates Motel.
Do they do that?
Yeah, they do the
Yes.
thing.
They.
It's
they
an actual
do?
Stuff.
It's
They
a
don't like-
profession.
Sorry, they don't like to call
So-
it stuffing.
What do they call it?
So if anyone here is interested in taxidermy, come to Windsor. We
Yeah.
have a club for
Well,
it,
I guess
guys.
yeah. The term stuffing now it gotta
Good for
be
them.
go.
We promise we have taxidermy.
It's like when
Taxis and taxidermy.
yeah.
University of Windsor, we cover everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I started developing slogans for this store to be like, I wonder what would bring in an audience. Just like, you know, if your animal's dead and you're crying on your knees, come over to taxidermy and cheese. Like, I don't know where. I don't know where the audience would be there.
Wow, no one was OOFL. She's wrong.
Taxidermy and
So it's the term
It
like
doesn't even sound like macaroni. Like, it's not even close.
macaroni. What?
Isn't it the plain macaroni and cheese?
No, no. All I did was just say if your animal's dead and you're crying on your knees, come over to taxidermy and cheese. Like I don't
What
know.
about macaroni? Where
Yeah,
did
nothing
macaroni
was
come
said about macaroni.
Okay, wait, no, wait.
I thought this was an actual store.
Basically, if the term taxidermy is to like stuff things and everything like that, like do we? What is like?
I was like,
So,
what
Maybe
Animals
taxidermy.
with cheese.
Maybe taxidermy and cheese can be our always.
Like for Christmas, you taxidermize a turkey because you like fucking stuff it with stuffing. So I love.
What?
Is that the right word?
This-
Taxidermize.
Okay, we need to like.
This is.
I really just want to preface this whole situation with we had a 45-minute conversation before this about how we weren't going to talk over each other, and literally every single one of you have talked over each other.
Oh, at least once. But this is just
So-
us, and that's why we're the trash bash.
Yeah.
There you go. So yeah, sorry to anybody listening.
If you want to listen to a bunch of pieces of shit arguing with each other, then listen to this podcast.
Or
Tell
It's
your
Always
friends.
Sunny in Philadelphia.
Literally, that's that show.
Or
That
filter
was
each
that.
voice and put it all together.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so next combination. I literally read the word combination. Okay, so next topic. Noelle also wanted to discuss eating things that aren't food.
Yeah.
So go ahead and start
This
us off,
is
Noelle.
okay. This is just
Very
a
scared.
common thing that has happened to me my whole life. No matter how old I get, you know, like, and like you know, at first, for most people, it's like sometimes you're talking. Let's say you're eating an apple and you're holding like a phone or something, and you're distracted, and you ever had it where you accidentally like take a bite of. Okay, well I have
Literally
this.
never.
I've had it my whole life. So
That is
we are all.
Wait, the level of cognitive dissonance. I think you should get something checked. Never have I been holding an apple and my cell phone and have made the untimely error of biting into my dial pad.
I just want to
the story. You know how like, most kids, you see kids that'll pick up snow. And you get that one kid that you like eat the snow. I think I was 4, and I was in a store with my mom, and like they had this Christmas tree, you know, and they had this like fluff to be snow.
Oh.
I thought it was snow, so I picked it up and I put it in my mouth. And my mom just turned to me and went, "Noelle, that's not snow." and it's been happening my whole life. Like even in my family, like my grandma was given bath beads one year.
Oh.
She thought it was candy, and she ate a bath bead.
Oh my god.
My aunt thought my grandma had like a bowl of shells on her table. And my aunt, again, thought it was candy, and I watched her scoop up a bunch of these shells, like shells from the beach, like little shells.
Handed to Noelle, there was one, like, I have to sort of, so you're not sinking alone here.
Okay.
There has been a time where I was at my aunt's house, and she had put out a bowl of nachos and just a bunch of appetizer snacks before dinner, and she's a very decorative person, so she had put it next to a bowl of potpourri, which was like a very terrible idea because I'd taken a handful.
It's like a bunch of dried herbs.
Dried leaves, dried herbs, and it's just for decoration, and it's supposed to smell nice, right? So I had taken the largest handful of potpourri while talking to someone and brought it 2 inches to my nose and realized that Tostitos do not smell like Febreze. So I caught myself. Luckily, I didn't take a bite out of anything inanimate, like Noelle.
Yeah.
I actually have a story that I thought about.
Do we usually animate for some reason?
What? No.
Not inanimate objects is what I'm saying.
So when I was in probably grade 1 or 2, I went to a friend's birthday party, and her older brothers were hanging around for whatever reason. And one of them with like chips and dip kind of out. I think there was sour cream, and there was also like a bunch of paint because we're doing like this painting thing.
Oh god.
And so the brother comes, grabs a chip, and dips it into the white paint, thinking it was sour cream, and brings it to his mouth. His sister goes, "That's paint," as he's putting it in his mouth.
Oh, that's
Just realizes as it's in his mouth that it's not what he thought it was, and runs to the thing to puke.
Okay, wait, can we also, I just need to bring up the fact that I really want to fucking eat a Tide Pod, and I'm triggered. Like, that's
Like
one
that-
thing,
we
that's
have that
one thing
debate
that, like,
later.
I'm just, like, I'm ready for.
Celine,
I
we
have a
should
Tide
eat a
Pod in
Tide
the
Pod at the
basement.
end of this podcast.
We should not.
I have one in the
Podcast.
basement.
Yeah.
Sponsorship.
We're changing the name.
Except it's the
Tide
Game
Pod.
Flings, not the Tide Pod.
Anyway, I guess the point of
The
this is,
Tide Podcast.
if you haven't heard about that Japanese game show where
Yes.
inanimate objects that are not they don't look edible, like are made of chocolate, and you are supposed to bite into it
And
if you
guess.
take it and
To see if it's
chocolate
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah, you basically
And-
have to guess whether the object you're about to
Yeah,
bite is
so-
a real object or if it's chocolate. And like,
And I
it's
feel
just-
like at this point, I feel like I would probably be okay at that show because I guess I've bitten into things that aren't edible before, so I guess it wouldn't be a big deal.
Wait, okay, so are you allowed to like hold the objects?
Yeah.
And, like,
No,
No,
you
no.
have your hands
Oh,
behind your
okay.
back.
You
And they make
understand.
them look super realistic,
It's
so it's
so-
like a
no, no,
shoe.
They probably just
supposed to
put
be
it with
chocolate.
a layer of melted chocolate.
No,
No.
It's just chocolate.
It's chocolate and fondant.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, isn't there a real version too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Sometimes it's an actual object, sometimes it's not.
yeah.
So like some people actually end up biting an actual shoe, but then
Or,
other
like, a
people
table.
bite like a
But
very
like I'm
massively
saying,
created.
when there's a shoe, like if it's a real shoe, they probably just put a thin layer of chocolate.
No,
on it.
No,
it's
no, it's
made
a-
of
It depends.
fondant
It's
and
it's either fondant
It
or a
looks
shoe.
realistic.
Wait, so is there like a downside to playing this game?
You
Yes,
either
you're gonna bite into
fucking
a shoe.
or chocolate.
Yeah, but like, what if you have the real shoe?
Then you're biting into a
Does
shoe.
it look like a chocolate shoe?
Oh, okay.
Listen, I'm thinking that everything is brown like chocolate. everything is colored
No.
like
Like
chocolate.
shoes.
Like it's an actual object. Yes, if it's an actual object, or if it's chocolate,
Yeah, that
fine.
makes sense.
Painted.
That took way too long.
Or it would. You could also do it the other way, like where it looks like chocolate.
Chocolate?
You know?
Yeah,
And it's
but
actually
no.
a fucking fan. Like,
Yeah.
It's actually a fan. Oh my god. Okay.
anyways,
We're
that's
moving-
why I brought that up.
Oh, time
We're
to move
moving on
on.
from that. Okay. We're gonna talk about. This is just something we're gonna dabble in pretty quick. Not gonna stay on it too
Dabble,
long.
dabble.
There is a Windsor Facebook stalker.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
really know what
it's-
you want to call
He's
this
a
man.
he's a strange person we don't know.
I feel like
So-
you should be able to say his real
We're
name.
gonna no.
No, I don't want to call
We're gonna
anybody
call him. We're gonna call him Carbuncle.
Carbuncle.
Ew.
That's
Fucking
an awful
gross.
name.
Fucking awful.
Okay.
Fitting,
So,
but Shabakadoo.
His name is Shabakadoo.
Free Shabakadoo. Actually, let's not.
Let's
free
just
him.
call him
He needs to
freaking Stan. Stan.
We could, yeah, let's
Okay,
do it.
Stan, okay, it's
So this all started when Noelle actually had brought him up a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now. It's been a few weeks. And it's basically the same message. So he basically is messaging every girl
In our group.
and I'm assuming there's more than just us. And it's basically the same message that he sends to all of us.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you look really familiar. Like,
I see you
really
everywhere.
do. Yeah, like I see you all the time. Like you
Message
really
me
do.
when you get this.
Yeah. So that's happening.
Yeah. It's weird because none of us know this person.
He doesn't have a single mutual friend
No.
on Facebook.
I kind of recognized his actual name because at my work, I had to look up his membership card. So I saw his name, and I just...
So he's a real person.
Yeah, he's a real person.
Oh.
So he's a real person, no. So I just assume, like, oh, like, someone from my, like, I cashed out at work is, like, following me. That's kind of weird, but whatever. And
He's
it was
just kinda going
yeah,
for
and
everybody.
and he seems to just know a lot of things about each of us that, you know, like, are...
He didn't message me anything specific.
This
It
is
was-
spooky,
I
guys.
He's
got
actually fucking
specifics.
whack.
Like he brought up like places I used to work that aren't like, you know, listed anywhere. So that's what weirded me out. And then he kind of just started messaging all the women in our group.
Yeah.
Like everybody's kind of gotten.
It was weird because he sent me a message on the 1st, and then he just added me on Facebook like today.
Yeah.
He added me, and I was like, delete request. Like,
I have
see
a
you
theory.
later.
Maybe he's been recruited by one of our enemies from the past. To
The
steal
weirdest,
us.
the weirdest episode of Black Mirror.
Don't
Wow.
worry.
On the topic of creepy men.
Ooh, I like this. Okay.
So a couple months ago, when I was still working where I used to work, I'm not gonna name names. I'm not
Do you
gonna-
wanna are you retail? Was it retail?
Do you want to
no.
just describe it?
It was an escape room.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, no specifics.
So I was taking an Uber home, and I had the Uber guy, and he was kind of friendly, like talking like, oh, do you usually get out? Like, do you usually work Saturday nights? I was like, yeah, sometimes I work Saturday nights, whatever. And yeah, I usually go take an Uber home because I don't have a car, and it's too far to walk, which was fine. And then like, I kind of take out my phone because I don't really want to talk to people. It's the end of the night. I want to go home. It's like 11 o'clock at night. I want to go to bed. And then, so he drops me off. He's like, oh, do you live alone? I'm like, no, I have 2 roommates. Like,
Do you live alone? Like.
yeah, that's a real fucking creepy
That
question.
sets off a couple warning bells.
And so I was like, no, I have 2 roommates. They're both home. Whatever. So he drops me off and he leaves.
Oh, I remember this story.
Yeah, you do.
Ugh.
And then a couple weeks later, I call for another Uber after another long day of work, and it's the same guy.
Oh fuck.
So
They
he's like,
canceled it. and
Major Yankees.
So-
Yankees.
I get in the car. He's like, oh yeah, were you working people tonight? I'm like, yeah, they're staying a little bit later than me though. So, fuck, I was fucking lying out of my ass. I was
So if
working
I
like-
scream, they will hear me.
He's like, oh yeah, so like, where are you from originally? Which is like a lot of. That's not actually a normal Uber question I get a lot, just because I'm not from Windsor.
Mm-hmm.
So like he's talking to me like I'm being friendly, like I'm on
You're
my
being
phone.
a normal person.
I'm on my phone, but I'm being friendly, and he asks me again like, oh, do you live alone? I'm like, no, I don't live alone. Or no, I have 2 roommates and they're home right now.
like, write this as in. Like,
Why
they're
does this
here.
mean I'm pretty sure both of you were out that night. Anyways,
Oh no.
Triggered.
This is
Hey guys.
literally,
because
and it was
Like a
just like.
Home Alone style thing with like mannequins.
I don't even remember like all of the questions he asked me, but like I was just sitting there like I was texting Audrey, our other roommate, and I was texting my friend from home, and I was just like, this is the weirdest fucking thing I've ever been. Like,
You're like,
hate
if I
this.
died, this
if I
is his number.
if I died, this is where I was.
Here's a foolproof way to avoid all this. You know what
Yeah.
you do? If an Uber driver ever did follow you into the house,
Uber
all we have to do
driver.
is we just have to keep like wigs on the coat rack. Follow me. So
Okay.
you would walk in and you would then introduce them to your roommates.
Oh
And then
then-
you would run.
no! As he realizes
Make them
you
think
are
you're crazy.
stranger than he is.
Wow.
He'll turn right around.
That's how you end the sexual harassment. You make
Unless-
them
unless-
Season finale of Black
Unless he's into that. That's the way he puts
Unless
on.
he puts one on.
Yeah, that was
I would've-
Or he
then we have a problem.
pulls a wig out of his pocket.
I
and
would
goes,
have run
"Me
into our
too."
kitchen and grabbed a frying pan and was like, get the fuck out of my house right now.
Tangled.
I
The
you
tangled
took
on
the
his
fucking
ass.
words out of of my mouth.
Kind of on the same note of transportation, this is just something. I don't know if you guys heard about this. A cab driver in Windsor got suspended for kicking this kid out of his car on like the coldest night of the year, like over the weekend, like out of the cab because he didn't have any money and like.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like yeah, so like he kicked him out in the middle of nowhere. And this cab driver just took off.
He has an obligation to do that though. If they don't have money,
no. Windsor cab. No, they said it in the news. Windsor cab drivers are obligated to, if it's dangerous conditions outside, to bring you to your destination. And he kicked him out. So the guy got suspended, and they're like investigating vet cab. So we're not taking vet cab for a while.
Fuck you, vet cab.
Boycott vet cab.
I've been taking it every single day, and it's totally fine.
Also, though, that's a good note, because if any of you are dealing with the strangely abnormal Arctic conditions that we are in right now, you can take a cab for free.
Great. It's actually like a really good like
Scam?
That's a good like law.
Yeah.
Scam?
Kind of, but
It's a really good scam.
okay, but like if you're
Scam,
seriously
I guess.
stuck though, like
Yeah.
like you hear about bus drivers if like someone's like I had a friend like when we were 14, she was stuck, like could not get in. It was downtown. It was like Friday night. It was like 10 o'clock at night. She had no way home. Her parents were out of town. For some reason, like she couldn't call anyone. I don't know the specifics. And like a Windsor bus driver actually like said get on the bus. Like I'll like drove her to the stop she was supposed to go to. Like like he did it for free. So I mean.
Yeah, I had some friends
Yeah.
walking on like a really winter, like really snowy day.
Yeah.
And the bus driver was driving past, saw them, was like, "Do you guys want to ride?"
Yeah.
And they got on it.
I think too, it's like I understand like being a fiscally responsible business, but at the same time, there's also you got to be a bit of a human at some point too, because you got to think of your conscience, like.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, for those people here who are like they believe in a higher power. When you get up there, you're not gonna be like, well, I couldn't help that person because they had no fucking money. Like,
And even just
what are you
besides
gonna
that,
say?
like just like being a good mom.
Yeah, like it
sometimes
costs
just
nothing to be a good
person.
human.
Yeah.
Just be a good person sometimes.
It costs the bus driver what, $3?
Yeah, really though.
So
It's not that much. All right, well let's kind of wrap it up. I just also want to bring up the point. Everybody should watch Black Mirror.
And Shameless.
I'm still triggered from that show. I've only seen 2 episodes and I'm already questioning my entire existence.
But be careful, because some episodes could waste your time
Shut up.
completely.
No, they're all good. Just
They're
I
all-
know, as someone who's seen it since like the very beginning and has like been watching it religiously, like that show is definitely the Twilight Zone of our generation.
Oh,
It's
fuck.
they're all good. Watch them
Well, thanks
all.
for quote stealing.
Yeah.
But be careful.
No.
It could turn out that you're in a Black Mirror episode.
Oh.
Honestly, every day is a fucking Black Mirror
Maybe
episode.
we're in one right now.
Oh, guys, we're getting 5 inches of snow overnight.
Oh fuck.
I know, it's already
Again-
it kind of sucks.
Again, if you're in these Arctic conditions, stay the fuck inside.
True.
It is minus 19 here.
Yeah, it's fucking cold.
Polar vortex.
And the window is open.
And the window is open.
Well, we were smoking in here, so oopsies.
Whatever.
Alright guys, we're gonna end this episode. No, it's a little bit short, but we'll be back eventually.
We're gonna try and make it regular.
This episode
Sort
will
of.
probably be up on YouTube because SoundCloud fucking sucks and I don't want to pay for a membership to get unlimited fucking minutes on
Yeah.
what we can upload, so we're
Minutes.
moving to YouTube.
Also, who goes to SoundCloud anymore, anyways?
Yeah, true.
True.
True, yeah.
YouTube's
So you
Um,
might actually hear this one on YouTube if we decide to release it on both.
Yeah,
Maybe
probably.
we can do that.
Yeah, probably.
Why not?
Okay, well, thanks for joining us. If you're listening.
We all gonna end with our quote of the fucking. You remember last time we did one? Leo's
What
like,
did we do?
drink
No,
more
we,
water.
No, we
like
did
bucket.
advice.
Advice. That's
Good
it.
advice.
Okay, so let's do some good
On the
advice.
spot advice.
Oh
This
fuck!
is.
I didn't think about this at all. Okay.
That's why they call it on the
Sorry,
spot.
Anthony,
Oh, I have nothing.
That's
You have
some
no
good
advice?
So right now I have nothing. It needs to start with somebody else.
Okay, I feel like my advice for you as a person wandering into 2018 is
Do you want to speak a little bit louder?
drink some fucking water. No.
Okay, Leo.
No, seriously. Get lit, get paid, get laid. Have fun.
That's good.
Wow, the motto. Matt, anything for
On the
us?
topic of things you shouldn't get is herpes.
Yeah.
Don't
Wear a
get,
condom.
yes.
Yeah, wear it, wrap it.
Don't
be
get
silly.
herpes, kids. Great. Noelle.
My advice, take multivitamins.
Okay.
Actually though,
That's
like
very practical advice.
last time I gave really bad advice, so and this time I'll give good advice.
I will
Take
take
multivitamins. They're awesome.
Yep.
And then you can be a healthy human.
Yeah. eat some fucking kale. Honestly,
Yeah.
Why?
kale
That was
is
actually
so,
gonna be mine if
like, kale is so good and it's good for you.
Yeah.
It's really good sauteed if you don't like it raw. Eat some fucking kale.
Yeah.
Okay?
So Sel will not be on our next podcast.
she's the one we're beheading next time.
Oh, perfect. Okay, Kelsey,
Yeah,
any
kill
advice?
chefs are garbage.
Do things that make you happy.
Yeah.
I like
Oh.
that.
Like
That's
that.
good.
Very good.
That's good.
Yeah.
And here comes some shitty advice. Anthony, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. First of all, thank you, Kelsey and Matt, for being special guests.
Oh,
Hey.
Shout outs.
My advice to you, Anthony here, my advice to you is there are so many ways to make eggs. Be an artist.
Oh my god.
So try them all.
Be an artist.
Microwave
Being
them.
egg test.
Matt,
Microwave eggs.
we are no longer acquaintances. I'm joking. I do
Justin,
microwave
you have
eggs a
any
couple
They're so good.
And you're welcome for those.
Ending our last advice.
Yeah, I have some. If you need ice cubes, just freeze some water.
Good.
And on that note,
Goodbye.
thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Spaghetti!